What's up guys, I'm Dimitri with HardwareCanucks, and there's one particular product category that I've been collecting over the years, and that is something that I've used as my daily driver for a significant amount of time, and that is gaming mice. So I started off with the Logitech G502, I moved into the Myonix Caster, then I moved on to the Zoe FK1, then on to the SteelSeries Rival 300 and the Rival 700, then on to the Logitech G403, and then the Logitech G Pro, and now back to SteelSeries for the Rival 310. So the Rival 310 currently is my favorite gaming mouse. The shape, the sensor, the performance out of the world. You know, it helps me with my precise aim in CSGO and also on a desktop. But now they're claiming they'll win me over with the Rival 600. So this thing actually combines modular elements and their new TrueMove 3 Plus sensor that has a dedicated sensor just to detect the liftoff distance, so there's absolutely or minimal jitter when the mouse comes down onto the surface. I've actually never experienced any issues with the Rival 310 in terms of the liftoff distance adjustments, and my playstyle actually involves lifting the mouse quite a lot, so I'm really excited to see how the Rival 600 stacks up. So let's check it out right after this. Hi, I'm looking for a case. Well, look no further, I got this beauty. With all steel premium frame with a side of tempered glass to beautifully showcase any cooling adventure you might pursue, and cable management system that you wish you had earlier. The H700i, this one's for you. Ooh, this one's gonna be a good one. So let's first start with the price. It fits right in between the $59 Rival 310 and the $99 Rival 700. So I think the $79 price point is pretty standard among other champions like the G502 or the Myonix Caster, but for those wanting the best of the best, the Rival 600 delivers. So first, the coating on the buttons and side grips are smooth silicone. It feels awesome to the touch and has pleasant grippiness to it. The side sections are also magnetic and pop out when the force is applied below the mouse, and that's important so they don't simply break apart during gaming. And these reveal 4 pockets on each side that are for weight adjustment. We have this awesome rubber pouch that contains 4-gram weights that you can populate into any of the 8 slots, and by default the mouse is 96 grams, which is a bit heavier versus the 88-gram Rival 310. And with all the weights you can add up to 32 grams if you prefer a heavy mouse, but it also allows you for like customization of the balance on each side to create the best configuration for your handling taste. So I'm not the one to play around with weights personally. You know, I prefer to just get comfortable with the default body, but I noticed that I would lift the left side of the mouse a bit too much when moving to the right or doing flicks, and that would cause the sensor to stop tracking because the mouse was just way too high. So to prevent that, I added more weights to the left side, and it actually seemed to balance it out nicely. Now keep in mind, when taking off the side grips, some weights might fall out, but I really appreciate the rubber storage compartment that you can wrap around the mouse cable so it doesn't get lost. And if all the weights are in place, it holds down the cable quite well. A few major body differences between the Rival 310 include a much larger fin for the DPI change button. I don't like this because when clicking the scroll wheel, it's just too easy to accidentally click the DPI button as well. You can see the primary buttons are a bit higher, that complements claw grip slightly better. The right curve on the Rival 600 has a larger slant that feels more comfortable, but because of the removable side grips, you can feel that opening underneath the thumb of the frame. But overall, it's a super comfortable mouse, but I do prefer the Rival 310 for the larger side buttons and better curvature on the primary clicks. The scroll wheel is absolutely fantastic with great texture, tactile bumps, lots of control, and super nice middle click. The primary buttons have a muted audible actuation and are extremely satisfying with pressure and travel distance. The side buttons are quite small but easy to press, plus there's a third click here too that for me is quite far and needs hand readjustment to reach. The cable is non-braided, so that's awesome. It is removable with this chunky entrance, so regular micro USB cables should also work. Now, I don't particularly care about RGB, but the 8-zone illumination is well implemented. It looks quite nice, but keep the middle stripes all the same color, as the gradient between the zones is not exactly pretty. And so now the coolest part of the 600 is the sensor. So the main tracking sensor is the same TrueMove 3 as found on the Rival 310. It's fantastic, delivers true one-to-one tracking for the entire sensitivity range from 100 to 12,000, but now they've added a liftoff distance sensor for more accurate liftoff distance control. And so that means when the mouse is either being lifted off the surface or comes back down, you have the least amount of unwanted cursor movement. And this sensor is so good that setting it to the lowest point possible means that it will actually stop tracking in some sections of my mouse mat where my hand had depressed the fabric, making it almost unusable in like half the mouse mat where my hand usually sits. Now to me, I cannot feel any surface variation in the thickness of the mouse mat, but the mouse can because it has such precise distance, liftoff distance detection that the mouse is thinking that you are actually lifting the mouse and it's not just that slight depression in the fabric. And it's kind of funny because I've always asked SteelSeries to include some sort of liftoff distance adjustment because many other gaming mice do that, but it's hilarious for them to go ahead and come up with this best solution to actually include a separate sensor that's sole purpose is to detect that distance. But does it really matter? So when I tested it side by side to the Rival 310 that has no liftoff distance adjustment, the 600 is just a tiny bit better at eliminating that motion during lift and contact. So yes, there is a benefit, the sensor performs better, but I'm also glad they've added the weight adjustment because otherwise paying that $20 price premium would not be worth it. Now gaming on this one felt incredible. Quick aim adjustment is comfortable, flicks motion is under control, and overall tracking is absolutely fantastic. And the only performance difference I could feel versus the 310 was that the Teflon feet and the surface traction felt rougher and not as smooth on the Rival 600, and the 310 perhaps maybe it's been worn in so much at the bottom that it feels much smoother, but you can actually hear the difference too. And so for those looking to get into SteelSeries mice, the Rival 600 is highly recommended. It's got their best sensor so far. It's got nice weight system for balanced distribution. It's got really nice body, comfortable to use, and a really good price point too. So we're giving it the HardwareCanucks Damn Good Award. However, the fin button on the Rival 310 is more comfortable, especially because I use the middle mouse click all the time, and the slightly more angular slanted primary buttons and the larger browser buttons is why I'm keeping the Rival 310 as my primary mouse for now. Alright guys, so that's all my thoughts on the Rival 600, but I'm curious to know if any of you have actually ever used the liftoff distance adjustment for your mouse, if it has it, or if you've ever used the surface calibration tool that basically also detects the optimal surface tracking and the distance. Let me know in the comments below, and I'm wondering, like, if the Rival 600, are they trying to push too much new things, or is this like incremental change in that precise liftoff distance control actually worth it to professional gamers or you guys? Let me know in the comments. I'm Dimitri. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.